Hello and welcome to another Marketing Monday. We're so glad you're here and joining us. Yay! My name is Brittany Sweeney. I'm the Communications Manager with the Livestock Conservancy. We have some awesome guests today. We have Ryan Curitin, who is our Breed Association Manager for now, and Gina Perdue. Thanks for joining us. We're so glad you're here.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Do you want to introduce yourself, Gina, and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So my name is Gina Perdue, and I am the current secretary on the RMHA Board of Directors and an active committee member. So, and I have been secretary actually since 2015. So I've enjoyed being a part of the organization and the leadership of the organization. So I've also enjoyed the horse for most of my life. I actually grew up in Estill County, where the origins of the horse and Sam Tuttle were. So that's where we currently live. So I've lived here all of my life. So been a part of the horse, for, again, my whole life, and then a part of the organization as I got a little older. So
that's awesome.
Good. That's great. So I'm noticing I'm having some technical difficulties as it relates to Wi-Fi. So in tradition of Mondays being Mondays, just a quick FYI, if I blip out of existence, trust me, I'm still alive. So Gina, thank you for being here. Again, I've been a fan of your association and just how you guys have had a very, very strong presence when it comes to marketing within the horse community, especially even with enthusiasts. So just kind of talk a little bit about the background, the inner workings of your association, really pushing for your heritage breed, having that strong marketing presence.
Well, we have, always valued being, trying to market and to, as part of really the mission of the organization to really promote and preserve the Rocky Mountain breed. So that is something that, we've worked on for years. We've always had a magazine. We, of course, more recently have gone to social media and have a Facebook. We have a website, of course, for a long time. We have recently hired a marketing coordinator, actually, who's helping with some of those, and that's pretty new. So,
Hold on. One more. Gotta take a minute to let that sink in. Y'all, they hired a marketing coordinator. Okay, you gotta explain that one. I'm sorry.
Well, she is actually. I guess I'll. She's literally been with us for like 3 months, so it's fairly new. But she is actually working with the committees and giving some thoughts on how to market our horse. It is part of our strategic plan to have we have a strategic plan too. We have a larger strategic plan, and then we have an annual strategic plan. So marketing is a piece of that strategic plan. And the marketing coordinator has been kind of a component of fulfilling that strategic plan. So she, again, like I said, she's kind of just getting started, but we did recently have a Horse Illustrated ad that she coordinated. And involved some, farms that were a part of that ad. So we've got, so we've been doing some interesting things like that. We've always had, of course, on our website as well, where we call the Best Directory, and that is a place where farms can market in their individual farms on our website as a promotional piece. So, and again, we still have our own magazine that comes out a couple of times a year. So.
Wow, y'all, they have a magazine. They have a strategic plan. First of all, so Breed Association Manager, Livestock Conservancy here. One angst I've had with breed associations and really working with them through understanding why this is important. Strategic planning, the fact that you guys put marketing as a part of your the fact that you even had a strategic plan is a miracle in of itself. But being able to actually say, we want to make marketing a priority within our association, I think is really important. Talk about how even on the farm level, how that's still important. Like, let's say you have a horse breeder that's wanting to either sell, breeding stock, or like do rides, or for enthusiasts, whatever it might be. How can they also have a strategic plan for marketing?
Well, I mean, I think everyone would look individually on their own, to see what their goal, to start with their own mission and their own goals, of course, to do that. And of course, that's sometimes not something, that individually people kind of think about, I guess, like you're saying, it's something that, and they may not even know how to do that. And so that is something, I mean, they may need to reach out to extra, additional resources. I know here in the county, we have, we have some farm service agencies and conservation districts and things like that sometimes offer, like workshops and things like that to kind of help farmers with their business plans and things like that. And so there may be some local opportunity for that too. But it is good to know what your mission is, what your goals are, and kind of where you're going with that for sure. So.
Yes. You bring up some good points. One point I want to touch on is the fact that you mentioned how even if someone doesn't necessarily have that kind of savviness towards marketing or even business, a lot of farmers don't get into farming necessarily for the business aspect, but it's the business aspect that becomes the biggest burden to them. Utilizing the local resources. I know Cooperative Extension will occasionally do like farm classes or farm business management classes. So definitely check that out within your county and within your state. Also, FSA, NRCS, also good resources to reach out to. This is, guys, this is your tax dollars, literally. So if you have a county that's really active and it's promoting that kind of educational material, definitely go check it out. If you realize that your FSA office or your NRCS office or your local county extension is not doing any programming like that, but it's something that not just you, but a lot of other farmers in your area, definitely reach out to them and show that you have an interest in learning, and be that advocate. So that way you and the farmers around you have the opportunity to elevate in terms of marketing and business strategy. So anyways, I want to get off that soapbox real quick.
Well, another thing that some of our local agencies offer, they do offer sometimes either government grants and loans and things like that. So those are also beneficial. And some of those cover things like marketing, advertising, or software, things like that can help with, business tracking, strategic planning, those kind of things. So are covered in some of those programs. So something else to check out. So.
Yeah, good. So I guess since y'all really focused on having marketing a part of your strategic plan, how does that help the breed? Because I think that's kind of the bigger picture question is, a lot of people will put marketing effort into, promoting their breed, but there's not really a return, or not the return that they think it is. So talk about how for you, with your strategy, how that really helped the breed association really promote the breed and get the numbers up in terms of membership or breeding stock in general.
Well, for one thing, we have been very busy recently. Our office has seen an increase in memberships, number of members. We've seen an increase in breed registrations for our horses. And so we're staying really busy, and we're up on transfers, which means people are, buying and selling horses and things like that. So all of the marketing, even, people can individually market, but also as the association does, as we bring in more people, then, of course, those membership dollars go straight into our, general budget. So that helps us to be able to do more, to offer more programs. We do try to market our programs. We have a number of programs, the versatility program, we have a trail mileage program, we have a show program. So we do try to advertise those things, get people involved. Our show program has been really busy this year. We're coming up on our international, which is our kind of final big show of the year. And that is September 8th through 11th at the Kentucky Horse Park. So that's a good time for not just show people, but we also, for the membership to come together as a as a group and fellowship together, along with, having a competition. And there's other events that go on there. And of course, other events people can get involved with at the horse park. So that's something we've been promoting. And last year, as a new something new, we actually and I guess too, with COVID last year and still kind of continuing this year, I think it made us think a little bit more about it. But we did live streaming, which was actually free, and it was on our Facebook site. So it really got people involved, even if they couldn't be at the show last year, and people were so excited about that. We got a lot of good feedback from that, a lot of hits, all of the numbers. I'm not sure what all the numbers mean sometimes, but how many people are looking at all of your stuff were really high, and that's something we're going to be doing again this year. So even if people sometimes can't actually maybe travel to Kentucky or wherever an event may be, for this particular event, we are going to have some live streaming. So it's good to get to that's a good marketing strategy, as well as being able to get our members involved, even when they're not maybe able to be there in person. So.
Yes, 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 yes. So, if I could break some of that down, of what I really appreciate about what you just said is you see not just marketing, but you see the association providing excellent customer service. And that's something that over the last couple of months, I've really been somewhat hounding some breed associations with. But excellent customer service, good character, those are things that are really going to allow not just a breed association, but especially even a farmer at the farm level to really have more success than if they weren't implementing these things. And part of having good customer service is finding ways of engaging your audience members, whether that be prospective members or your current members, because sometimes people neglect the people they already have. And being able to also show appreciation to them by finding good, interesting, engaging ways, or that's the magazine, whether that's these shows, you're providing a multifaceted way of finding engagement for everybody, and so I think that part of it really is important. I did talk to I think Judy about the live stream y'all had, and when she first mentioned it, she was like, it blew up and we went viral, and people from around the world were watching, and it was crazy. We didn't expect it to be this good. And so it's a good example of how just finding those small ways of still inviting people into not just the association, but the experience of the breed was really valuable. So just kudos to y'all. Just really kudos to y'all.
Yeah, that's been, and I think we do try really hard to do that. Again, we've got a lot of different programs to try to include, people who maybe want to trail ride, people who want to show. Again, we have a versatility program. So we have, and those are all kind of award-based programs too, that you can earn awards through those programs. And then, we have member benefits that we've worked to get, where, our members get discounts, maybe certain places and some of those kind of things. On Facebook, we have a Trail Rider Tuesday, where they do, like you guys have Marketing Monday, we have Trail Rider Tuesday. So we've been, try to engage people in that way as well. And then, of course, we do have an office that's open right now 4 days a week with staff that, is always very helpful to help the membership with whatever their needs are. So.
Great. So talk about the programs for a second. I think even at the farm level, there are a lot of people who could do like workshops or demos, even on their property. But talk about why creating those programs can create maybe some friendly competition, or just an opportunity for people to really experience what you mentioned, that versatility with your horse breed.
Well, with the versatility program, they do get, riders, they kind of enroll in that program, and they, that's another, again, a benefit of membership, and again, those membership dollars, and we do have to have rider cards to be a program, be part of programs, and so those dollars, roll into the budget to help us to be able to do things for the membership and for the horse. So, but then, within the versatility program, we have, people get points for certain different types of activities that they're involved in, and it really encourages people. That particular program encourages people to do all kinds of different stuff with their horses, not just things sometimes that you think of that gaited horses do, I guess, or the standard trail or show, but lots of different types of events. And so, and then with the trail program, people track their mileage. It's something they could do on their own. They could do with their friends. It's something that, they kind of do more individually. And of course, then with their shows, we've seen an increase in the number of shows that we've had over the last few years, sanctioned shows. And of course, with that, we have, a point, based on your placing, you get points. And so we have a high point program for that as well. Our youth group is also very active. I failed to mention them earlier, but we just had a youth camp this year. So we do a lot. We have a lot of people who are really supportive of our youth. And we have people who have horse shows for scholarship funds for them, or for, to help them pay for their show events. We have we have a youth scholarship. We have different things like that to really support our youth. And like I said, we just had a youth camp this year. They have a youth committee. They do a great job of fundraising and getting the kids involved. So that's something really that we really try to have stuff for the entire family, from the kids on up, so. And then we have upcoming, just along the show line too, we have a pink show coming up, and so that'll be a fundraiser for breast cancer awareness, and that, and then we'll have in October, we actually have a day set aside for trail riding to raise awareness and funds for breast cancer. So we do some community service, I guess, while we're at it. We just recently had a horse show for that some of our members put on. They created this, and for a family in need, and it was a 2-day show, well attended, and the funds were donated to a family who needed some help. And so we see a lot of things like that. We've got really great members within our organization, and we see lots of volunteers, lots of members doing good things. And so, and it takes everybody. It takes a village to be able, not just our office staff, but our board members, our committee members, our regular members who are doing other things like putting on events and shows, and then those kind of things that we can. Everybody's just got to work together to make it all successful. So.
There's gonna be a lot of applauding. Just FYI. I mean, y'all targeting the kids. Y'all giving back to your community. I mean, I'm just kind of blown away how much y'all are doing. But I love how it's less self-centered. Your marketing strategy is not about how can we make more money, but it's more also about how do we inspire the next generation of breeders and enthusiasts. And also about how can we get back to people who are in need and find out ways of doing that. And the fact that your membership on their own came up with that idea was just it's just a breath of fresh air. I just love hearing stories like that. So before we go on to the next questions, Brittany, what are people saying online? Do we have any comments or any praises? What's going on?
Right now, we really have one. Let's see. Hi, Brittany. Thanks for joining us today. She says, great question. So I guess your earlier question about how how marketing helps with the breed was a good one. So good job. That's it. That's all we got. So if y'all have questions, please write in, leave us a comment, let us know. We'll take your questions as they come in.
Perfect. Well, going back, so Gina, you're raising this breed, correct?
Correct.
How many horses you got?
Oh gosh, I didn't know I had to have a head count today. A bunch. We've got a herd. That is, yeah. So, that is what my husband does actually to make a living. So, so we do
Okay.
have a number of horses. So, we've got a bunch. So.
Good. So I guess for you and your husband, why this breed? I mean, there are plenty of horse breeds out there, both heritage and more modern, popular breed
Mhm.
horse breeds. Why Rocky Mountain horse out of all those breeds?
Well, for us, I mean, we just love the horse. We love the gait, we love the temperament, we love the conformation, we love the bloodlines, we just love the horse. It's just it fits our needs, and like I said, I mean, it's it's my whole life, I guess you would say. Again, I grew up in this area in Estill County, kind of the home of the Rocky Mountain, I feel like, where Sam Tuttle was and where Tobe originated. And so we, it's just been a part of mine and his life before we were married and after we're married since for many years. And so this wonderful horse has, and so very proud to be a part of that. Very, very proud to be, to be here in this area where there's so many, and to be able to be grown up. And I actually was kind of thinking about this a little bit as I was getting ready for the event today, but how important, how important, again, being a member of the Rocky Mountain Horse Association is. My husband and I are lifetime members, and that's valuable for us. It is it's a commitment to the breed. It's a commitment to the organization. And in thinking about registration of our horses, I mean, we've been breeding these horses, my husband longer than me, but have been breeding these horses for so many years. I got involved with the breed when I met him in the late 90s. And now we look at papers and registration papers, and we have bred generations of these horses. And so it's really an individual, for us, it's an individual accomplishment. We've worked hard over the years to get the bloodlines that we wanted, and get certain traits or whatever the way we wanted them. And now we can kind of look back, and and that's really it's valuable to you individually, to your business, but it's also valuable to the organization, to have many years, of these, now you've got generations, of members with generations, on a set of papers, of background that you can speak to, and that, and that you were part of creating, I guess you would say. So that's valuable in many ways, again, individually, but into your individual business, but also to the organization and the breed. So.
Yes, yes, yes. I love your initial comments on why you love this breed and how it connects to not just your heritage, not just your geography, but also to your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, it's so cute, like you and your husband like bonded over horses, like
This is true. This is true. This is true. And we've, and it's, and it's a strong bond for me and him. And it's just, to have that commonality, but a strong bond with the horses and the breed as well. So, so we've got major attachments to some of our horses and our bloodlines, of course. So.
good, good. And I feel like those words, all the words you just said earlier, that's a marketing tool right there.
Mm-hmm.
Just simply having a good experience with the
Mm-hmm.
breed and with the association, and just oozing and gushing and about how much you love your breed, how much you love your association, really can go a long way towards the conservation of that breed. So I guess from like your experience as not just a breeder, but also a member of an association, talk about your member experience, because you've been with them for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of kept you there? And now that you serve at a bigger capacity, what's keeping you there in terms of you being a leader?
Well, again, we've always we've always done a lot of trail riding. At home, we don't typically necessarily trail ride competition per se, but we do a lot of trail riding at home. We've always been engaged with the horses in our own, farm and again, our bloodlines and things like that. We've always been a part of the show program for as long as, as long as I've been, with my husband anyway, I've been part of the show program, and he's done that for a long time, again, as a breeder and trainer and that kind of thing. So he's been part of the show program, and again, our, being, able to, as a member, just having the benefit, again, of, horse registration and things like that. And that's really, kind of kept us going, doing, keeping our, creating our kind of our own footprint, I guess, in this organization, being active in the different programs, being active with other members, with our heritage in this area. And then again, having this kind of goal to sort of, kind of come up with certain crosses or and traits and bloodlines within our own breed, and then those kind of things. And then I actually was asked to step in there was an opening on the board. Our secretary had to step down, and I hadn't actually been really active in the way of committees or the actual board of directors or whatever until that point. And I was asked to step in and help out, and I did. And I was hesitant about it in the beginning because, it's kind of the unknown, and it's, one more thing on your plate to do. But boy, I'm really glad I did. It gives you a whole different insight into just the workings of the organization and being a member in sort of a different way, being able to give back some, and not just with the horses, but to the organization itself, and the business kind of piece of the organization. And so being a part of that is great. And really, that's you really learn so much being part of like the board of directors and an active member on a committee or whatever. You really get involved to see the inner workings of the organization and how valuable, how important the budget is and how important things are, and how everything really works. I mean, we have, lots of things, you learn about from that maybe people sometimes when you don't have to be a part of that, you don't think about some of the businessy things like bylaws and budgets and strategic plans. And so you learn so much as being a part of that. And that's, valuable as a member too, to learn, which is, it also helps your individual growth. It helps the growth of the organization, but individually you kind of bring some of those things back to your own business or your own personal life of the things that you learn as being a part of the organization. And so that's valuable in a different way, and valuable that you can't kind of put a sort of a price tag on, but.
Amen. 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 Yeah, I think, and I say this as someone who sits on different boards and committees outside of the Conservancy, and it's completely different when you are a member versus you serving the association in a greater capacity. And I really think that's kind of when you have a good association. There's that nurturing for servant leadership, where even where like, hey, we're encouraging people to serve in a greater capacity in this organization, but more importantly, they're doing it in a way that isn't extraordinarily intimidating, or in a way where people wouldn't want to be a part of it. So for you've already had all that bought in trust, and you're like, okay, well, all right, yeah, we'll see, yeah, sure. Versus some people who might have had such a bad experience with their association that if they even got offered, they would want to take it. Like, man, heck no, I don't want anything to do with y'all. But I think the beauty of it is when a member does get the opportunity to work and serve as a servant leader in the greater capacity, they end up having more grace, humility, understanding towards the board and some of the decisions that that board and the committees might make. Because it's one thing when a change gets made and you're wondering, well, why'd that get made? And then you get on the inside and you're like, oh, that's why. They weren't stupid after all, so I think that's really good. Well, I have another question, and
Okay.
since y'all are doing breeding, what are some common mistakes that horse breeders make? Even, and you can raise your hand if you made some of them. But what are some common
I'm going to
mistakes that
blame them all on my husband. Sorry if there's any mistakes in the breeding program. So
Perfect. Well, just blame the
sorry.
husband. Good. But what are some common mistakes that horse breeders make in terms of marketing, their horse, but more importantly, their farm and farm story?
So mistakes that they make by not like mistakes that they make in their marketing. Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah, in their marketing or lack thereof.
Okay, that's what I started to say. Like, yeah. So a lot of times people, they, again, they don't, market a whole lot, and everyone again has kind of a different goal for their own farm or whatever. But I think we've seen a lot of increase in just with social media and people kind of being able to jump on Facebook, post a picture, post a video, those kind of things that doesn't require maybe sometimes the you know, it doesn't have to be, a completely like professional marketing kind of program or something like that. So I think that's kind of offered people some opportunities to be able to do that. And I think from a mistake standpoint, again, maybe just, that people don't market enough. Maybe they don't, maybe are just not, aren't marketing to what maybe their goal really is, I guess you would say, so that they are not marketing because everyone kind of has a different niche. Sometimes some people are really into breeding. Some people are into, selling horses. Some people are in, different things. So maybe just finding that whatever their goal is or their niche is, and then going from there and marketing from that kind of perspective, I guess. So.
Good, valuable information. So, Brittany, any questions, comments, thoughts, or concerns? Hopefully, no concerns, though.
No, it's all positive. Let's see. Roy Barton says hi. Hi, Roy. Thanks for joining us today. We're glad you're here. Hi, Denise. Thanks for joining us today. We're glad you're here. Denise wants to know, have you seen any changes in the breed as far as conformation, gait, temperament over the last 10 to 20 years, positive or negative? She's just curious.
Good question.
Well, I think that, I do think that, in general, kind of breeds do tend to change over time. People breed, maybe for a certain trait or for a certain, aspect that, and so I think things do change and not that that's positive or negative. But again, I think we've seen a lot more, just over the years, we have seen, we've seen a lot more. Well, one thing that kind of comes to mind is color. We used to be, we used to kind of market that chocolate horse, and there was there was a lot of chocolate out there. And that's, one of the things that are kind of, that people consider sort of characteristic of our breed. But we've seen a lot of the different, lots of different colors coming into the breed over the years. Again, people maybe sometimes breed for whatever it is that they're doing with their horse, whether it be trail riding or for the show or whatever. So I do think, I think breeds do change over. In general, I think you see that in most all breeds that, over time people breed, and it's going to change based on how people are breeding and what they're breeding for. So.
But if I could re-ask the question a little bit, other than color, has there been any other notable changes towards the breeds or differences within over the years in terms of the breeds characteristics that you've seen across the board?
I think, I think something you'll hear people say is that, we've kind of come up with a more, I don't want to say more, I guess, but a really athletic, diverse horse, or that people are doing a lot of different things with this. We see people, jumping their horses, and they're not jumping horses, or they're doing, we have people, working cattle and doing a lot, again, different, a different level of athleticism in the show ring. I think you see lots of people doing things like that. And so I do think that, that over time, we have really kind of produced a very athletic and versatile horse. So.
Great. Denise had one more question. She wanted to know, do new breeders focus more on any particular traits to enhance and preserve?
Well, hopefully everyone is focusing on those, traits of gait and conformation are two of the big ones. Of course, our gait is definitely a priority, and conformation as well, and temperament. It's also important. And so I'm just saying, I'm hopeful that breeders are doing that. I mean, I know that at my farm we are. I mean, we think about those things all the time. What crosses are going to produce the best of the best, whether it be, whatever it would be that we, because we do both. We have trail horses and we have show horses. And so we're breeding for the best of the best in whichever way, that we're breeding. And so again, considering gait, conformation, temperament, we don't, breed for color per se. But, and for, and a lot of people, just, breeding to preserve this wonderful horse that we know and love. So.
All right, great questions. I think that's all we have right now. So if anybody else has more questions, write them in, let us know. Love to hear from you.
Well, I want to have one last question for you, Gina.
Oh, no.
You ready for this one?
I don't know. It may be a doozy. It sounds like. I'm not sure.
Do
I have a lifeline? No. Can I call a lifeline? Oh.
Oh, yeah. You want to call a friend? Yeah, totally. Why not? So this question, I'll just ask it. For you, being a breeder enthusiast, being a member, what are some of the challenges that you, as a now board member, have faced in regards to conservation for the Rocky Mountain horse?
Well, again, considering how, again, within our, that we are protecting and preserving that breed and everything that we're doing, and that we're keeping that really as that ultimate sort of goal, or ultimate, the horse has to be the center of what we're doing. And sometimes, it's easy to get away from that. You end up with, you kind of get focused to other things, and you have different issues that are sometimes going on. And so, and I always try to just personally bring myself back to, how is this affecting the horse? How is this affecting the breed? How is this affecting the organization? And just personally, I really value trying to, every decision that we make on the board, or that I personally make, I can't speak for everyone. But again, how is that going to affect something in the future? How is it going to affect the horse of utmost importance, and everything else? Should really, it's just sometimes muddy water around it. And then, and how can we be consistent in that? And so making consistent decisions on the board is something that I really value, looking at rules and bylaws and trying to make a consistent decision among, among situations over time. And so that is the kind of the strength, I think, of the organization and the board, in having, consistent decisions among programs, among members, among interpretation of our rules. And then also, again, just keeping that horse at the center of everything we do. How is it going to affect the horse? How is it going to affect our breed? Is this promoting and preserving our breed, or is it not? And so I really try to think about those things in any kind of decisions that I make. And I think the board as a whole does as well.
Wow. Well, thank you, Gina. We appreciate you being here. And I guess we'll wrap it up if we don't have any more questions. Brittany, how we're doing?
No more questions today. Just lots of love. Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to go into closing. First, we like to start out with some shameless plugs. So, Gina, to give us your shameless plug for the Rocky Mountain Horse Association.
Shameless plug. I think you might have to educate me before I tell you what a shameless plug is.
Oh, basically, hey, this is our association. Like, we don't care. Like, how can I explain that? I'm probably not explaining it well. Brittany, I
Give
need a
us your
lifeline.
elevator pitch. Like,
oh,
Yes,
the elevator
there you
pitch,
go.
the elevator
There you go.
speech. Okay, all right,
Yes,
I can do that. So, so I guess just come join us in the Rocky Mountain Horse Association. We've got a wonderful horse. We've got a wonderful organization. We've got wonderful members, and I don't think you'll regret it. So.
Woo, yeehaw. All right.
I'm just going to tell
That just
people to
naturally
find them
came out.
online.
Oh yes, yeah. There's our website. They're on the and you can find everything there. All of our programs, history of the breed, forms, processes, membership, everything. It's all there. So.
And they have a great website too.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. I'm not going to lie. And that's rmhorse.com for anybody that's just listening and not watching today. So please check that out. I think you'll also have a Facebook page, which is at rmhorse. They post lots of great pictures and all sorts of events and fun stuff. So please check them out.
All right. And Brittany, we got to do our shameless plug. You ready?
I'm ready. Take it away.
Oh, no, you always start, remember? You start.
Oh, do I? Oh, yes,
yeah.
That's right. I forgot. I'm on Monday time. Yeah, so a big thank you to all of our followers, all of our members. Thank you for making programs like Marketing Monday possible. We wouldn't be able to do it without you. So thank you very much for tuning in, liking, sharing, telling your friend and neighbor, mom. I tell my mom to watch. She doesn't, but I tell her every week. So yes, thank you to all of our wonderful members. If you're not a member and you'd like to help us make more programming like this possible, hit us up, let us know. We can send you to our website, which is livestockconservancy.org. And I think you have a conservation champion one you'd like to.
Yes. Okay, y'all. Here's my quick spiel, my quick rant. So I am a conservation champion, not because I work here, but because I do believe in the cause of the Livestock Conservancy. And the cool thing about the Conservation Champion membership is that all you got to do is donate $4 a month, and it's an automatic monthly reoccurring donation. As breed association manager, I get a lot of calls of like, oh, I thought I renewed. Did I not renew? How'd that happen? I'm like, I don't know how it happened, but it didn't happen, and so people forget life gets really busy. But with the Conservation Champion membership, it is a literal monthly renewal, monthly payment of $4 automatically taken out. And guys, $4 for a month, $4 a month. Cheaper than a cup of Starbucks coffee and definitely cheaper than a pack of cigarettes. So if you are interested, definitely check us out. We have great programming, and all the money that goes to that will help towards programming and support of your heritage breeds. Other than that, I wanted to do just a quick but sad announcement that this will be my last week at the Livestock Conservancy. So I will be stepping down as breed association manager and pursuing a passion of mine, a dream of mine. So yeah, I don't know if we're going to be doing the Marketing Monday. We'll figure that out as time goes on. But I did want to say that I appreciate you guys as audience members. Thank you for supporting Marketing Monday. This has been a baby for me. And I might not have named it, but I definitely nurtured it and carried it and have loved on it for the last year that I've been here. So thank y'all for showing up. Thank y'all for giving support, sharing, liking, and thank you to all of my guests who have been on here, especially you, Gina. So with that, I think we're done. We can wrap this up. Put a bow on it.
All right.
Thank you all for having me.
Yes, and thank you, Gina. We're so glad that both of you could be here today. Tune in next month. We are going to be doing duck month and talking about poultry. So get excited. Yay. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.